Alright, so this is the pendulum squat.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, Viv.
Isn't that machine for old guys who can't do squats?
No. This machine is for anybody who wants to do a different squat variation.
No. I think it's just for old guys who ride gold wings that can't do squats.
Okay, you're right. It's meant for them. Just roll the intro. What's up, y'all? Your boy's been sick AF. I spent the last 3 days super duper sick. Yeah, not good. Wife and daughter got sick on like Sunday night. That's the outside cat. That's the garage. This is the where you at there? The garage gym cat coming in here. Wife and daughter got sick Sunday night. I got sick Monday afternoon and just stayed sick. Had 102.8 fever. Puking, the whole thing. It was ridiculous. But anyway, this is about the GMWD Pendulum Squat. And here's the thing with GMWD. I just want to, real quick for GMWD, here's an issue. As the outside cat is showing you, hey, GMWD, here's the thing. You see how that says box 2 of 3? And if you look on the other one, I'm not going to show it. It says box 1 of 3. So I got box 1 of 3 and box 2 of 3. Let me back up. What's missing? Yeah, box 3 of 3 is missing. GMWD, listen, I understand, it's from China. A lot of home gym stuff is made in China, which is fine with me, not a big deal. Don't ship 2 of 3 boxes, because I was going to put this thing together yesterday. I was starting to feel like a human again. My son and I were going to put it together. And I was like, wait a minute. My shipment gets here. I'm all excited, thinking, hey, we'll put this sucker together. People say it takes about an hour and 15 minutes, whatever, cool. And then lo and behold, it doesn't arrive. And it's going to be here today. So I haven't got to work out in like 3 days because I've been sick AF. So today is just going to be shoulders and triceps. And tomorrow, we're going to have this thing put together. I'm going to give you my honest opinion of how hard it was to put together. Show you the first few reps on it. And just tell you what I think. I paid for this with my own money, just so we're clear. GMWD is not sponsored me. Nobody sponsors me. In fact, nobody wants anything to do with me. Don't blame them. All right, so all 3 boxes finally came in, and I got them disassembled. Basically, there's box 1, box 2, and then box 3 sitting over here. What I did do was I laid out all the tools we would need just to make my life easier. Laid out all the socket sizes, 16, 17, 13, and I think 14 on one, I'm not sure. And then got all my wrenches, all that stuff. Just kind of laid everything out, wrote down what size socket and what size millimeter wrench it was going to be. Got all the plastic out. One thing I'm going to tell you not to do, and I did it before. You see how I saved all the boxes? I saved the boxes because I learned the hard way. When we built the rack, I put one of the boxes to the curb, and it had like little rubber washers in it that I needed, that I didn't know I needed. And we were looking for them, went out there to the box. My son goes, here they are. So I pulled everything out of the boxes very carefully. That doesn't mean that I did it right. I'm not going to go through the full assembly. At the end of this, I will tell you what was a pain in the ass, what was easy, but I did lay them out, box 1, box 2, box 3, to try to make my life easy. I have my daughter's softball game in like 30 minutes or an hour. So I'm not going to get to start on it until I get home tonight. But we shall see. We'll come back and let you know if it was easy or if it wasn't. All right, I'm going to put a backdrop behind this thing tomorrow, but here's the completed project. It took a little longer than I thought it was going to take. It took almost 3 hours, and it wasn't crazy hard to put together. It just took time. You have all your weights up here. Like it's heavy, but this is it right here. So get in, press your back against. Now, right now I've got the foot plate. Oh, wow. Oh, dude, that's super nice. That is pretty freaking. You can get to depth. That is humbling because that's like no weight and you're going. Wow.
It looks like the thing from South Park where it's like the bike and you gotta suck the dick and get an ass. That's what it looks like when you first got on it.
I'm making a video for YouTube.
Yeah, I waited a minute until you finished with that.
This thing is, it's humbling. Wow. Let's see what we got here, how high we can get our feet up. Heels all the way down. I mean, wow. Oh my God. That is amazing. Just with the, like with no weight, that is humbling. What do you think? I think it's gonna be a great machine, don't you?
Facts.
All right, so I kind of wanted to show it. I put a sheet up behind it. There's so much stuff on the back of that shelf that it kind of takes away from looking at it. But what I wanted to show you was the fact that it's pretty good size. So it took us about 3 hours, like I said. One guy said like an hour and a half for him and his buddy. They must have put a lot of stuff together, or we're just not that smart. My son is the brains behind the operation. Luckily for me, I do the brawn and the quick handiwork. My son is the one who literally laid most of the stuff out. I try to make it easy like I showed you earlier, but you know, by doing all the different sockets and wrenches. But anyhow, there's also the that's the gym cat. She's in a phenomenal shape. She is she's wasting away to nothing. So one of the reasons I got this, and I was talking to my son about this. So if you come over here and look at my belt squat. So this is belt squat. It's by Fit Force. It's one off Amazon. Not a bad belt squat. But if you look right here, if you come over here, so I have a 2-inch rack. This is a 2-inch post. This is meant for a 2 or a 3. Now I could fix that. One of the issues I have with it, if you look right here, when I stand, if you see how it will do this. So I don't have the kickstand. There's, I can't remember the name. I think it's the Mammoth Belt Squat has a kickstand. So I just use a bench. So I left myself enough room to be able to use this, but I want to show you one that I love my belt squat. I really think this, I'm keeping this, I'm going to continue to use it. Great thing about the belt squat is that it takes all the pressure off your low back. But, so I use my stool, that's how I do that. When you load this thing up a lot of weight, it tends to teeter and totter and do this. Now I could cut spacers and probably make it to where it wouldn't do this. But it was one of those situations, my wife came to the garage, I was doing belt squats, and she did not like the fact, I had about 240 pounds here, 255s, 245s, 235s. I think I had around, I think it was like 255, 260 pounds on here. Okay, belt squat's great because I can literally get here. You can get really good depth. Like you get decent depth, right? Scoot forward with it, good depth. Now, for me, because I had problems inside my legs, I like to do single squats, where I get my legs out and you can really get down and get some decent depth. Belt squat's not a bad machine. I like it because it puts the pressure on my hips and away from my back. I just didn't have a kickstand, and the more you load weight up, this becomes difficult to maneuver. My wife had a problem with that. She watched me do them one day. She said, man, if this thing ever tilts, you start dropping plates, you're gonna be screwed kind of by yourself. Now what I learned last night is that this footboard and this placement really makes the biggest difference as to what you work, because I kind of experimented a little bit. Now, I'm gonna show you how to get in it. I think I showed a little bit last night, but get in, get crouched down, and the main idea is to keep your lower back pressed against the pad and shoulders back. Now, when you get in, place your foot on the footboard. I have the safety set a little bit higher. You release the safety right here. You can either turn it here or you got a safety manual there. Hands here is pretty easy. If you keep yourself back and you look at the depth you can get, I mean, you see that? There's your depth, right? And you can definitely feel it. If you keep your back pressed against the pad, try to keep your heels as close as you can on the floor. Even without weight, that's challenging. Now what I learned is, with the footboard high like that, I feel it more in my glutes and in my hamstrings. But if you adjust the foot plate, the footboard down, which is, it's nothing more than turning here. I tightened it up because I was going to be on it. Yeah, there we go. I had it really set real tight. And if you get it down to its lowest setting, what I learned is, up high like that, you work more of your hamstrings and glutes. When you get here and you get the footboard a little lower, and you're right here, this is just straight quad domination. This right here, or even if you put your feet a little higher with the footboard low, man, this is all, in fact I bottomed out just then, you saw. This is all quads. When I say all quads, I mean, I feel a little bit in my hamstrings, but my quads are like, whoo. So that's why I bought this, to take pressure off the low back, it just felt safer than the belt squat. Now, if I'd have bought a Mammoth belt squat with a kickstand, maybe I wouldn't need this. I think the Mammoth belt squat's around 300 bucks. I'll have to look at that. This was 99 bucks off Amazon, 99 bucks. Maybe this isn't for everybody, and I'm gonna agree. There's gonna be people who are gonna say, I would not spend 800 bucks on a pendulum squat, and that's cool. Do I think it's commercial grade? I said this earlier. There might be some commercial gyms, like smaller gyms, that would have this. It's a lot of pieces to put together, whereas your really commercial grade ones, man, they're a lot of just straight steel, welded. Look, I said it before, but almost everything for the home gym community is made in China. They come from China, okay? So this is what it is. But when I say to you, this thing is bad. Like I said, I put a 35-pound plate on here earlier and did a couple reps and was like, holy shit, it'll work you good. GMWD, I want to say, this is a really quality piece. I've seen some other people who just absolutely love it, and I'm the first one to tell you this is a damn good piece. 3 hours is not terrible. It took us about 3 hours to put together the power rack, my son and I. I think everything you get that's a decent sized piece of equipment takes 3 hours from anywhere. The instructions were good. As I said earlier, one thing you don't want to do, and I showed this earlier, but don't tighten these bolts. You have all these different bolts where we made a couple mistakes, and we did good on building the frame. We didn't tighten the bolts. When we came up here, we actually tightened these two bolts over here that hold this piece. That was a mistake, because when we got ready to try to get these bolts in, we had to back these all the way out, hammer this in. People said, hey, don't tighten the bolts too much, but I thought, oh, it'll be okay. The only mistake we made. The rest of it, we let everything sit and be kind of loosey-goosey and got it fit in. Then we came back and cranked everything down, and we did put all the bolts that don't have a lock nut on them, like these guys here, for example, and some of these base bolts down here, we put Loctite on. Do I think you necessarily have to do that? No, but I think it's a good idea. The springs were kind of a bitch to get on. It took us, getting the sleeve on it, my son and I both were like, what the hell? Finally got that on. It has grease fittings. I'm gonna have to get a little grease gun. Is this worth the money? I need to have this thing for 6 months to take it's worth the money. I can look at you and tell you that the power rack I bought was worth every penny with a Smith machine. That thing is amazing. RitFit did a great job on it. It's lasted, I beat the shit out of it 5 to 6 days a week for the last, 6, 7, 8 months. I've had this thing for 24 hours. I've used it. I will say, man, if this is any indication, it has humbled me. I'm gonna have to really put some size and mass on to be able to work out hard on this thing. But for the money and the time it took to put it together, this is a damn good machine. And I just, look, I'm not sponsored. Nobody's giving me jack shit. Every fucking thing that you see in this gym came from my money. I sold my seated calf raise and I sold my 1-inch weights to kind of help fund this. Not really, because I didn't get that much off of them. This is the leg area with the, seated leg extension and leg curl, and this machine right here, and along with the belt squat right there, this is going to be a badass little leg addition. Yeah, after the workout, I'm going to rename this thing. It's being renamed the torture rack. That thing's wild. Yeah, the torture rack, I decided. This thing is, my legs are just toast. My legs feel like I climbed Mount Everest. I called my buddy Colin. I was like, dude, I feel like I climbed Mount Everest. This is an amazing machine. I think I'm gonna get a lot of quad growth and a lot of leg growth out of this. Hey, y'all, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when the shit show gets rolling again. GMWD Pendulum Squat. I like it. And GMWD makes stuff that you can afford. One thing I'll say about those guys is that most of their equipment is affordable. You can go on their website, they have a ton of stuff. They've got a chest press, they've got racks, they've got, my God, lat pull down machines. They've got everything. I think they are a good company that makes affordable stuff. Is there better stuff out there? Well, sure. You saw the pendulum squats that I posted, several of them. The closest one that I saw was around $2,000, $1,900, $2,000, and then you went up to as high as, I think there's one for $6,500. That's a lot of money. Some people can afford to pay that. I, on the other hand, cannot. I prefer not to. I spend money on stupid stuff, but I want to spend money on stupid stuff that I enjoy. But anyway, like I said, hopefully you liked it. The pendulum squat's not for everybody, but I think it was a good investment for me. And hopefully this was somewhat informative for you. And I would like to say just thank you again to everybody for watching. I want you guys to have a great day. Let's try not to be assholes to each other. And I'll see y'all next time.